Hello, I am Don Gibson. I am a candidate for Carson City Sheriff. I hope to become Carson City's 28th Sheriff, and with your vote, I will. I'm coming to the office of Sheriff with nearly 17 years of law enforcement experience. I've had a very successful and fruitful career. I know that I have and possess the leadership skills necessary to administer the office of Sheriff. I am not running for Sheriff because I believe the current Sheriff's done a bad job. I believe that he's done an adequate job. I want to bring new ideas, a fresh perspective to the office of Sheriff. I want to strengthen the bonds between the Sheriff's Office and members of our community and work together as one. One of the programs I want to bring to the table is a youth development team within the Sheriff's Office. I want to grab kids in our community of all ages, bring them into our four walls of the Sheriff's Office, and put them through programs with police officers. I want to establish a mentorship between a police officer and a youngster in our community so that that youngster will hopefully be able to carry those experiences with that police officer all the way into adulthood. I also want to go away from our numbers-based management philosophy. The numbers-based management philosophy in law enforcement actually turns the very same people that we take an oath to serve and protect into the victims of our production. We're not in a private industry. We don't make a product for profit, for dollars. In law enforcement, our number one goal or number one job should always be to establish a relationship with members of our community. That is utmost important. Catching the criminal will always happen. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when we catch the criminal. I want to focus on the entire department building relationships with members of our community. What we currently see at the Sheriff's Office is one person building relationships with members of our community, and that's the current Sheriff. I too, as Sheriff, will build relationships with members of our community, but I will also demand that the employees of the Sheriff's Office at all levels build relationships with members of our community. Vitally important to me. It's also just as important to me that we refocus on how we investigate and tackle the drug problem in Carson City. Heroin and methamphetamine have become an epidemic in Carson City. Heroin is affecting children between 15 and 26 years old. Heroin is killing our kids, folks. We need to do something different. We must take a different avenue. The avenue that I will take is to go after the supply and dealer. If we go after the supply and dealer and we shut off that main supply, the users are certainly going to have less access. Currently, we go after the user. This has proven to be grossly ineffective. I want you to think of a drug dealer as that main water supply running down any street in our community. That main water supply has branches on it. Those branches feed respective houses in any neighborhood. Well, folks, if you cut off the main water supply, those houses will no longer get water. The same theory applies to drug investigations. If you cut the head off the snake ain't going to move. The same thing applies in drug investigations. I want to bring many programs to the Office of Sheriff. Another program I want to bring is a program called Vial of Life. This program will be designed very minimal cost so that when emergency personnel respond to either a senior citizen's house in our community or another member of our community who suffers from medical ailments, will provide the first responders with immediate medical information on that individual so that they can be treated appropriately. I also want to develop a program that I'm going to call Back to the Street program. This program is going to encompass my administrators working the streets here in Carson City 1 day per month. This is a must for me. Far too often, as administrators, when you take on the position as a position of administrator, you lose touch. You lose touch on what it is your line employees actually do. You lose touch on what it is community members demand of their law enforcement community. Well, by doing this, administrators within the Sheriff's Office will be more in tune, will be more in touch with members of our community and the staff in which they manage. In addition to this, through attrition, I want to get rid of some of the administrative positions. Some of these individuals making six-figure salaries. I'm going to, through attrition, get rid of these positions and use those funds, reallocate those funds down to the bottom and hire additional line staff. We always have to remember that line staff in law enforcement are the ones that truly handle the community's needs. Thank you.